Today we are going to learn about the GIS, the importance and the significance of GIS in different fields. So let us start with the GIS. So what are the contents we are going to cover in this webinar? So first of all, we will introduce the GIS, then complete overview of GIS, overview of technologies and tools, case study, evolution in GIS, and then at the end, career path and job opportunities. Next, first of all, we have to understand that what is basically GIS. It is Geographic Information System. So GIS is a computerized system developed for the collection, storage, analysis, and presentation of geographical information in digital form. Geographical information is like your location, and location have latitude, longitude, elevation, and all the amenities nearby your location. Okay. So it is a computer-based tool that allow the users to store and edit spatial and non-spatial data. Then we will analyze the spatial information output. Here, if I'm talking about spatial means if you are currently at a location, then you should know the latitude, longitude, elevation, slope, and all the geographical information that will tell you about your location. Okay. So next, what is the basic objective of GIS? So GIS basically we used for the planning and decision making. It is also used for the data distribution and handling. Right now, the most important use of GIS will comes in Arogya Setu app. Okay, so whatever we are using, it comes with the Arogya Setu app and the GPS. Whatever the GPS you used in your Android mobile phone, it will comes under the GIS. Okay. So what we used to do, we used to integrate all the informations. Like you can see that in Arogya Setu app, you will get all the information that how many patients, how many people who are corona positive are at how many distance, like 1 mile, 2 mile, and 3 miles away from your location. So this data comes by integrating all the information from different sources, and then by merging all the information, we can get the exact information what we are looking for. So next, see, next the GIS has been divided into 4 elements. See, in the childhood, we have studied that computer is of 2 parts, like software and hardware, right? Hardware is like your monitor, your CPU, okay. And software, you know, like C, C++, language programming, Python and all. But here GIS has been divided into 4 parts. First one is hardware. Second one is software. Third one is data. And fourth one is libware. So hardware, basically it's a normal computer input devices and all, workstation, mainframe. Softwares, we have multiple of softwares which we use in GIS to operate. Multiple queries, whatever we have. Okay. Then third one is data. See, if you want to looking for an output of something query you have, for that we need some data. Data can be attribute. Attribute means if I'm searching for a particular location, like Bhopal, okay. So what are the main attributes I can create for Bhopal? Its population, its road density, its railway network, road network. Okay, so these all data comes with attribute data. Then spatial data means location. I already told you. Then remote sensing, Remote sensing is what? If you want to capture any data from the satellite imageries. Okay, there are a lot of satellites which government has recently launched for navigation purpose, communication purpose, defense purpose. Okay, Gagan used for navigation purpose. Then we have SPOT. Then we have lot of means near around 108 satellites right now above the Earth. Okay, then leap year. Leap year is what? Whenever we have the input, now we have to do some manipulation, some calculation over there to get the output. Okay, so next, what is the application of GIS? See, there are a lot of applications. Here I'm using few of them and few will elaborate at the end. We used GIS for mapping. Mapping, like you use maps in your Android system. GPS, you used to say, whenever you have to go from Gurgaon to Delhi and Delhi to Jaipur, you use what? Navigation system. Right now, because of this GPS, there is no need to ask anyone. You see, I have to go here and there, is something like that. Is it possible to go there? Okay, so mapping GPS is allowing you to travel from one location to another location without any difficulties. Next, telecom and network services. Okay, so there are a lot of network companies like Airtel, Vodafone, BSNL. So they are using GIS tools and techniques and they incorporate all the data. And with the use of this data, they are going to build a network. And network consists of design, optimization, planning, and maintenance activities. Okay. So next is urban planning. Urban planning is what? Urban, like in GIS language, we used to say urban. But in common man language, I would say it's residentials, we people. Okay. So if we are living in an area and see in today's life, the city is going to expand. But we should know here we have to live. For example, if I think about, I'm taking an example. If you are in Gurgaon, okay, so Gurgaon, the city is getting explored. So now you have to decide whether I should see. Now the third application I'm talking about, it's urban planning. Urban means what? In GIS term, I would say urban means people. Okay, common me language, people. So if I'm staying or if I want to buy a property nearby somewhere, so I'm looking for the amenities like water supply should be there, electricity supply should be there, mall and road network, metro network. See, these are the common basic necessities of a people. If I will get all these necessities, amenities nearby my locality, then I will go for that location. So urban planning comes here. So urban growth and its direction of expansion, it will goes in that direction where the people will get all the amenities. Okay. And with this urban planning, there is no need to go manually from this place to this place and this place to this place. If you have data, you can thoroughly check on your laptop that yes, this is the suitable place for me and I will get all the amenities over here, like your school, mall, and road network, everything. Okay, next is survey. So whatever the data we get, it comes from the survey. Survey will be done and then the collection of the data and it embedded into the GIS system. And with this survey data, we use to prepare digital maps. Next is geology. See, a geologist use GIS data. And why GIS data too? Because we have to do analysis for the soil, seismic information. For example, civil engineers. Okay, if a civil engineer has to build a building, okay, or developers are a lot of developers are there. They have to build a building. anywhere in India. So they have to do analysis of the soil because different locations have different soil texture. If you go to the coastal areas, soil texture is different. If you come to the plain area, hilly area, southern part, so soil texture is different. So we have to first analyze the soil. Okay, after that only civil engineering comes and they build according to the soil texture on that land. Okay, now next is how GIS is applied. Why we are so much emphasizing on the GIS? See, GIS resolve environmental difficulties through which we can reduce cost. As of now, engineers don't have to acquire tools to store data in copies. Previously, what engineers used to do? They used to note down each and every detail in their notebooks. Okay, but now they are having database, they are having a laptop. Okay, so a lot of new technologies has been developed and engineers just now to log in into database and they can analyze multi-disciplines. Okay, so traditionally, before the advent of GIS, what engineers used to do? They used to draw their plans on a paper and it will passes from one engineer to another engineer. And then government agencies. So there was a little bit stress of checking different places to access data. But now with the help of GIS, users can access data on a database from everywhere. Also, GIS involved locations. Locations like altitude, latitude, longitude, elevation, and all this information related to the surface. So we can get the information for the particular location where an event occurred. So with all these information, it helps us for the decision making. So I must say that GIS is said to be the foundation of next generation civil engineering, and it's the driving force for the development of all these sectors. Okay, so there are few of the application. Actually, there are a lot of applications. It's not possible to explain each and every one. Okay, so to like basic, I would say it is GIS has various applications in infrastructure management, watershed management, land and site analysis, which is must for the civil engineers. Then spatial analysis, transportation planning is there, environmental analysis is there, data handling should be there, designing purpose. So now the basic technologies in GIS. Now the point comes here that how GIS helps people. Okay, so this overlay and proximity analysis. Okay, so for example, in 2005, there was flood in Chennai, right? So here GIS comes and it helps a lot to the government agencies. So how they helped, for example, there were two areas. First one is your buildings. Buildings is termed as a parcels in GIS language. Okay, so in GIS, I would say parcels and then zones. Flood zones, I would say polygon. Okay, so when I have uh, integrate both the parcels and flood zone area and overlay each other, then I got to know that yes, this much area has been drawn and we have to rescue the peoples from that place. Okay, so what it does, it creates a new data set which help multiple agencies and even local NGOs came forward to help the people to evacuate because there was around 5 meter water level was there and people were stuck in their house. There was no landmark, even you can't see any landmark over there. But how can we reach there? We reach there by using the GPS. GPS in the sense we just give the landmark over there. You see, this is a tree, this is a mm, pole, and you have to go straight 5 kilometers, then take a right turn. So in this way, we helped in Chennai floods. Next, we can overlay watershed boundaries with a vegetation area. Okay, so with the help of watershed boundary and vegetation layer, when we merged, or we can say overlay. Overlay means one layer over the another layer. So in we have calculated the amount of each vegetation type in is. If I'm looking for something like medical shop, but I don't know where it is. So what I will do, I will use the GIS and find out, is there any medical shop within the 1 mile of my area? Okay. Another second example I will say, like to plan the transportation for the students who live more than 1 mile from the school. For this, we will create a buffer of school by 1 mile and use that buffer so that we can know that, okay, this is the 1 mile, and beyond 1 mile, I have to plan the transportation for the students. Okay, in this way, we have GIS also provide elevation, slope, rainfall, temperature. These are few of the parameters which are the deciding factors. Whatever the query we have, okay, spatial data, non-spatial data, satellite images. We have a lot of satellites, so we can download the data from the satellites. There are 2 or 3 websites from where we get the data. Then remote sensing, satellite remote sensors readings sensors are there, which from which we can get the data. Okay, so what are the basic tools of GIS? There are a lot of tools which helps us. For example, Falcon View, Elvis, QGIS, ArcGIS, CAD, MATLAB. So different tools play and role play the role in different applications. Okay, so to understand what is the basic role of GIS, here I'm taking 2 case studies. First one is Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Interactive Mapping Tool, and second one is Environmental Organization Assessment using GIS and multi-criteria decision analysis. So this is the basically the case study of Turkey. So first of all, I'm going to start with first case study, that is Kentucky Transportation. Okay, so here GIS and civil engineers both comes together. See, there are a lot of application of GIS, but as of now, I'm just explaining 2 case studies. Okay, so this case studies investigates the experience of transportation agencies with mapping portals based on GIS. So from the starting, here a few lines about the Kentucky. So for today's transportation agencies and organization, Geographic Information System, that is GIS, is an everyday tool used in many different capacities. Now, talking about its application, so agencies use GIS to manage assets such as road, bridge, map routes, and map routes for what? Truck and buses, track safety incidents, plan for new facilities, and monitor traffic activities. GIS portals are quick, easily readable, online geographic data viewer through online mapping service, just like what we are using GPS in our Android phone. Okay. So the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, that is KYTC. Okay. GIS Office created its first online interactive mapping tool in 2001. This user-friendly GIS portal created to support the long-range transportation planning efforts. The target of KYTC is to provide the fast, straightforward, and online mapping tool. Now, over the decades, KYTC will create, host, and maintain more than 20 individual mapping portals, and it's a huge. Okay, and all will be used by engineers, planners, private contractors, and the general public. Now, what is this? What is the application of this mapping program? Because whatever we used to do with GIS, there is some purpose behind that. Now, coming to the application part, the purpose of KYTC mapping program is to provide as much as special users use interactive online maps. By disseminating this information, KYTC make data easily accessible with the hope of reducing the number of requests made to the GIS team for transportation data. Now at present, KYTC website includes numerous interactive mapping portals and printable. So currently we are using this portal for lots of queries we are having, and queries regarding what? Active highway plan. Means active highway plan is what? The current highway which is we can use right now. Then bike routes, local roads, emergency funding routes, project plans. Okay. And so next is portal model of it. So whatever we used to do, some model, some mapping is okay. Modeling is always there. Whatever, if I'm talking about IT person, whatever the code he used to do, some model is behind that. Okay, this is the input, this is the output, and now in between I have to bind all the data together. Okay, so this the mapping should be there, modeling should be there. Okay, so the KYTC GIS team opted to present its data in a series of portals. Okay, rather than combine all spatial transportation data into one GIS portal. The primary benefit of this model is that each data portal is self-contained and straightforward to use and can be customized according to the customer's specific need. The KYTC GIS team believes that these maps are being used as part of business processes that requires rapid performance and clear data interpretation. Furthermore, we can download the data from KYTC portal on request for GIS users who are looking to perform most robust analysis.